The Eden Code. Why did God use heavy weaponry to guard a garden? The hook. The world's first security system. You think the Garden of Eden was just a peaceful park? Think again. After Adam and Eve were exiled, Eden became the most high-security no-fly zone in history. God didn't just lock the door. He installed a security system that no human could ever bypass. The cherubim and a flaming sword. But here's the million-dollar question. Why would a loving creator use heavy weaponry and terrifying celestial beings to keep his own children out of the house? Was it out of anger? Or was he protecting us from something much worse than death? Today, we are cracking the Eden Code to reveal the shocking truth behind the sword. The guardians, cherubim, aren't chubby babies. Forget those paintings of cute, winged babies. In ancient texts, cherubim were the war chariots of heaven. They were throne guardians, symbols of divine justice. Why were they there? Because Eden was no longer a home. It had become a courtroom. The presence of the cherubim confirmed a cold, hard truth. Sin had created a gap that human effort could never bridge. 3. The weapon, the automated flaming sword. The Bible describes a flaming sword which turned every way. This detail is crucial. It was automated. It turned every way, meaning there were no blind spots. No one could sneak in from any angle. Why fire? In ancient symbolism, fire represents both judgment and purification. But listen closely. This sword wasn't placed inside the garden to protect the trees. It was at the east gate. It was a warning. The old way is closed. Humans could no longer use their own strength or cleverness to hack their way back into eternal life. The reason, the hidden mercy. This is the ultimate plot twist. God didn't place that sword there because he hated Adam. Think about it. If Adam and Eve, in their broken and sinful state, had eaten from the tree of life, they would have lived forever in a state of suffering and separation. That isn't heaven. That's an eternal hell. The flaming sword was an act of painful mercy. God blocked the tree to prevent them from being immortal monsters, so that one day he could redeem them and give them a new and better life. He closed a temporary door to open an eternal path. The revelation. Where did the sword fall? If the flaming sword blocks the path to Eden, how do we get back? The answer lies 2,000 years later. Many scholars believe that the sword of judgment finally fell, but not on us. It fell on Jesus at the cross. When the veil in the temple was torn in two, that was the moment the security system of Eden was officially deactivated. The sword was put away, not because we snuck past it, but because someone finally walked through the fire for us. Conclusion: Eden is no longer a memory. So, why the cherubim and the sword? To show us that while holiness cannot compromise with sin, mercy always finds a way. Eden isn't just a lost garden. It's a promise of a future where there is no more death and no more crying. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you agree that blocking the tree of life was an act of love? What does the spinning sword remind you of in today's technology? Let's argue, politely, in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for next week's deep dive. The truth about the Nephilim. Did biblical giants actually exist? Thanks for watching. Keep seeking the truth, and I'll see you in the next one.